The Philippine government is steering its development efforts towards creating opportunities for all Filipinos to enjoy a matatag, maginhawa, at panatag na buhay. This ambition would be possible through a systematic and whole-of-society approach in all dimensions of development, economic, socio-cultural, political, and environmental. By 2040, the Philippines is a prosperous middle-class society where no one is poor. People live long and healthy lives and are smart and innovative. The country is a high-trust society where families thrive in vibrant, culturally diverse, and resilient communities. The different local government units in the Philippines play a significant role in reaching this vision. After watching the video, you should be able to see the intersectionality and the important roles played by the academic community and scientific institutions in local governance. What are some of the local examples? Across the country, the local government units in partnership with academic institutions have varied approaches in making things happen for the improvement of local governance. There is this Academe Government Partnership for Sustainable Development of Davao City, Improving Local Development Planning and Investment Programming Partnership by the Department of Interior and Local Government, Region 11, the Sustainable Development Goal City Lab in the cities of Manila, Alaminos, and Iriga, and COVID-19 mitigation efforts in various LGUs. What are the advantages of this partnership? Hand in hand, local government units and academic institutions can make real and effective partnerships that can usher positive change through sharing of technical knowledge and resource, capacity building, sharing of costs and risks, and other mutually beneficial endeavors. Local governments worldwide have seen success in the area of policy making and projects co-produced, co-created, and co-implemented with universities. Across the globe, research has impacted legislation and governance. For example, getting research into policy and practice in Nigeria, Family Impact Seminars in Wisconsin, USA, Development Finance Initiative in North Carolina, in USA, Semarang Urban Development Program in Indonesia, Metro Lab Network Partnerships in the US, Taltech City Project in Estonia, Making the Future Partnership in Australia, Capacities Project in the US, Germany, and Mexico, Project Cities in Arizona, USA, and Macquarie Ride Future Partnership in Australia. Through these good practices, policy-related research studies were conducted, research findings were disseminated to stakeholders, and a team of experts from universities were employed. Projects for community engagement and participations were opened, industry-driven initiatives were supported, and holistic approach encompassing capacity building and strategic planning was taken. So how can we make this work? Simple. Look around, do research, and apply the research result. Research is an important tool for developing the capacity and outcomes of local governance. Research provides opportunities to generate and discover new knowledge, to enhance delivery of services that improve quality of life to effective and efficient local governance. A good policy will always be guided by evidence which can be provided by the university researchers. Research can be instrumental in enhancing internal capacities of local governments with evidence-informed governance, transfer expertise to LGUs, evaluate existing programs, and create and reform policies. After exploring intersectionality and the important roles played by the academic community and scientific institutions in local governance, we see how research is an integral part of governance and policy making. There are many opportunities to make tangible and actual development, and universities and researchers are here to help. When thinking about the future, explore ways how local governments should partner with academic institutions in your locality. Thank you very much, and mabuhay!
Kalinaw sa tanan, isang mapayapang araw sa ating lahat. May greetings of peace be with you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I am Mayong Aguha, as a public sociologist, a peace advocate, and a Mindanaoan. I wish to share with you today my analysis, critique, and recommendation and proposals about coordinating research and legislation for better national and local governance. It aims to highlight the role and the challenges facing our scientists in the contemporary Philippine society. Ito ay base sa aking karanasan bilang dating miyembro ng ating kongreso at alagad na rin ng siyensya. Our world today is full of contradictions and tensions generated by technological, economic, and social changes. And all of these bring challenges to our society today. Nandyan yung poverty and inequality, nandyan yung jobless growth, nandyan din yung lack of social protection sa maraming mga kababayan natin. Nandyan din ang social exclusion na maraming hindi kasama sa mainstream ng ating lipunan. Silang tinatawag nating mga nasalaylayan ng ating lipunan. Sa amo pa sa Cebuano, sila ang mga kabus, Timawa, Pobreng Alindahaw, Gidaog-daog o Gisikmahan sa Kapalaran. Nandyan din ang violations ng human rights, especially gender discrimination na nangyayari sa ating lipunan. Bahagi rin ng mga problemang panlipunan natin ay ang ecological stress at syempre ang unsustainable patterns of consumption na nangyayari sa ating lipunan. And finally, with the current technology we are in, there is a digital divide. What needs to be done? Ang tanong ng what needs to be done today depends on how do we see our problem. Sa tingin ko, ito ay nakabase sa ating tanong, what unites us as a nation? Sa tingin ko, what unites us as a nation ay ang ating mga pangarap for a just and a humane society, and to build a government that shall embody our ideals. And that ideals is basically to build a just and a humane society. And that should unite us and continue to unite us. When you walk around the streets, maririnig ninyo mga kwento ng ating mga kababayan. Kanilang mga pangarap para sa kanilang sarili, para sa kanilang pamilya, at para na rin po sa isang mapayapang lipunan. And ang tanong, what divides us as well as a nation? Tingin ko, pag tinanong natin ang maraming mga kababayan natin, ang kanilang kanya-kanyang mga narratives, ito po ay sa usapin ng inequality. Inequality divides this nation. The very rich and the very poor, and the opportunities that is provided by our political system. As the mantra says, the quality of our lives is as good as the quality of our governance. Kung gusto nating tingnan ang kwalidad ng ating panggogobyerno at pamamahala, tingnan natin sa kalagayan ng ating mga kababayan, lalo na sa ating mga kabataan. If you look today, the situation of our children, one don't have to see it anywhere to look at the poverty that's happening in our country, ladies and gentlemen. 36% of our children, 0 to 5 years old, went through stunting. This is not just a simple problem of malnutrition. Stunting is something that our children will carry in the future. We are probably creating today a lost generation. So, ano ba ang dapat natin gawin? Ano ba ang kalagayan dahil sa pag-abot po ng ating mga pangarap to build a just and a humane society kagaya ng nakalagay sa ating 1987 Constitution? Malaki ang papel na dapat ginagampanan ng siyensya sa buhay ng bawat Pilipino, lalo na po sa pagtugon natin ng mga problemang ito. Nakakalungkot lang po, hindi lang tayo kulang sa kaunlaran. No? Kapos din po tayo sa usapin ng siyensya. Hindi ko na kailangan ulitin gaano kababa ang budget na nilalagay natin sa science and technology. Sabi nga nila, the importance of science and technology in our society depends on how much budget that we put in there to make it contributory to the lives of our people. Pangalawa po, kapos ang appreciation ng maraming mga leaders natin about the value of scientific inquiry, especially for those who hold power in doing public policies. Parang kailan lang po narinig natin at nag-react tayong lahat, no? Meron tayong miyembro ng ating kongreso na basically ay tinatanong, bakit tayo gawa ng mga research? Bakit ang dami-dami nating research na mga ginagawa? So, the kind of appreciation that we have in the science and technology field ay nakakatakot at nakakalungkot, mga kababayan. So, ang tanong, ano ang dapat nating gawin bilang mga alagad ng siyensya para magamit natin ang siyensya sa pagbabago ng ating lipunan, para sa pagbubuo ng mga polisiya na magbabago sa buhay ng marami nating mga kababayan. Ako po bilang dating kinatawa ng ating kongreso, nalulungkot kami, lalo na yung galing sa akademya, the way we conduct and develop public policy in this country. I had the opportunity to join with Tina Abad, with Neric Acosta, who had solid credentials in the field of sciences. Unfortunately, it's all politics and very little science sa pagbubuo ng mga polisiya sa ating bansa. Una, tingin ko po ay kailangan nating paigtingin ang ating engagement with our policy makers at their own core. Kikita ho natin kung kunti sa atin ang nai-involve sa pag-uusap ng mga polisiya. Nabibilang lamang po ang natatawag sa ating kongreso sa mga committee hearings. Tingin ko ito ay isang mahalagang arena na dapat tayo ay lumalahok. And we would like to congratulate the leadership of the National Research Council of the Philippines for making it as an important agenda to engage in the policy discourse in this country in their own home court. Ang court ho kasi natin ay publication, conferences. Ang problema lang po talaga, yung mga gumagawa ng batas, both at the national level and at the local level, ay hindi sumasama sa court na yan. Tayo ay dapat na tumawid ng court at i-engage sila ng mabuti para mas maunawaan nila yan. Pangalawa, we need to popularize our researches, ladies and gentlemen. You like it or not, we talk on jargons that many policy makers or even the public don't understand. We have to simplify it, we have to make it resonate na ito ay mahalaga sa buhay nila. Hindi lang ho siguro natin kailangan pinapublish yung ating mga findings sa study sa mga journals, no? Kundi ito rin ay ginagamit natin yung iba-ibang mga plataforma. Nandyan yung ating newspaper, nandyan yung ating social media, nandyan din yung ating television at radyo para i-popularize yung ating mga researches, lalo na doon sa mga issues na malapit sa bituka ng ating mga kababayan. Pangatlo po ay mahalaga rin talagang i-redefine natin ang scope ng ating research. Tayo po kasi either thematic yung ating research or territorial. Pero ang problema, yung ating mga policy makers talagang work on a particular theme and a particular territory. When I talk of a territory, it should be relevant, for example, in a barangay governance, it should be relevant in a municipal governance, or in the national governance. At tingin ko, dito ang malaking papel ng NRCP to develop the themes of the different researches we are doing all around the country and make a sense of it, how the different studies from different territories could be unified into a national theme that covers a national territory na nai-engage natin yung ating mga policy makers. Kasi tingin kasi minsan ng ating mga policy makers, yung mga researches nyo here and there, mga maliliit po, parang magagamit ba ito sa paggawa ng isang panukalang batas? At mahalaga rin sa atin na sundan natin yung mga tema, no, ng mga pulisiya natin. Ito po ay nasusulat sa National Development Plan natin, ang Philippine Development Plan, na dapat ang ating mga researches ay naka-attune po sa ating National Development Plan. Pangatlo ay mahalaga pong tingnan natin ang pag-training ng mga scientists. Pero hindi lang po kasi scientists ang dapat na train natin. Galing sa elementarya hanggang graduate ang ating mga estudyante, dapat ay tinuturo natin ang kahalagahan ng siyensya para sa pagbabago ng ating lipunan. We should not only train the scientists, whether they are in the natural sciences or they are in the natural sciences, but rather we also train people that will go into the area of public administration, people that will be elected as public officials, that we develop a strong impression upon them that in crafting public policy, napakahalaga ng mga datos na generate ng ating mga researchers. We have to reassess the way we are teaching research and scientific method to our students, because sooner or later, many of them will become researchers on one hand, but on the other hand, many of them will become public officials, barangay captain, kagawad, mayor, even senators and congressmen of this republic. Then, pang-apat, ang tingin ko po, mahalaga ay mag-develop tayo ng mga bagong insentibo para i-award sa ating mga scientists na nag-i-engage sa public discourse. Ito ay napag-usapan na po sa Division 8. Isang malayang talakayan ang naganap na kung tayo ay nagbibigay ng incentive for publication, na kadalasan ay wala tayong mga policy makers na nagbabasa ng ating mga pinapublish, dapat yung ating mga kasama na naimbitahan sa isang committee hearing, sa isang munisipyo, or sa ating kongreso, ay dapat may insentibo tayo na binibigay para sila ay mas maingganyo na i-engage yung arena na yan. Bukas po yung mga arena na yan, pero hindi natin napapasok para i-engage yung ating mga policy makers both at the national and the local level. Panglima, ay mahalaga po talaga na maghanap tayo ng allies and champion on a particular policy. No? Minsan kasi may tendency tayo na tingnan yung ating mga legislators na pare-pareha yung mga yan. No? Ito ay mga trapuan, etc. But in fact, base po sa aking karanasan, marami tayong mga legislators, hindi nila alam yung maraming issues, pero pag nakausap mo, ay nagde-develop na malaking interest sa kanila. Hindi ho ito yung mga masyadong kilalang mga legislators natin, both at the local at the national, but nevertheless, they could be an important partner in passing legislations in this country. Yan po ay base sa aking eksperyensya, for example, sa mga nakasama natin sa pagpasa ng batas para tanggalin ang death penalty sa bansang ito. May mga kasama tayong galing sa academic circles na nag-engage sa maraming legislators natin, or sa pagpasa po ng batas on reproductive health, or sa batas halimbawa natin, ng panukalang batas ng children in conflict with the law. Naraalala ko pa yung mga yan, no? Nakasama natin yung ating mga psychologists na nagpapaliwanag sa mga legislators na hindi masyado kilala. No? Pero napaka-receptive nila na matuto sa atin. Yun yung kailangan nating engage, mga kababayan. So, marami pong posibilidad na pwede nating gawin. Ang akin lamang ay simulan natin ang diskurso at pag-uusap sa ating hanay, paano natin i-engage yung policy making at the national level and at the local level, at paano rin natin i-increase yung lawak na sinasakop ng ating mga researches. Sabi ko nga, hindi naman tataas agad ang budget sa research hanggang hindi nakikita ng mga legislators natin gaano kahalaga ang ating pananaliksik para tugunan ang mga problema na kinakaharap ng ating mga kababayan. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Sana ay nakapag-ambag ako para sa ating diskusyon at ako ay matutuwa para sa ating mas malayang talakayan. Maraming salamat. Magandang tanghali po sa inyong lahat.